All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your casting host, Beef. Welcome back once again to Colecast. This is HoN Tour coverage here for cycle number 2 in the Diamond Division Winners Bracket round of 4. What you see on your screen there is incorrect, as usual, because I always forget to change that little thing on at least one of these screens, and in this case it will be that one. So go ahead and get that updated for you right now real quick. Like the two teams that we have today are Team USA and Team Excellent, as you can see there on your screen. There we go, all fixed up now. Team Excellent looking very, very strong recently. Team USA was the only team to be able to put a stop to their winning streak last week after they took out both Lions and TMSR. So USA's got the momentum in this matchup, but will Excellent be able to pull something out and maybe make it happen right now? Well, we're going to go ahead and have to see. Winner of this going to be securing top 3 in cycle number 2. The loser, guaranteed top 6, but they will be dropping into the loser's bracket to try to face off against some of the stronger teams down there. Currently, there are IG and Lions, I believe, that are playing down there, as well as a couple of the other stronger teams. So you don't really want to have to go on to back into that loser's bracket. You want to win here and take on the winner of TMSR versus Stay Green. That semifinal going on over right now at HoNcast. Let's take a look at the match that's already going on here, though. The bans way up at top. We do have 3 junglers being banned out. Parasite as well as Ophelia being banned out by Bassett's, while Engineer and Tempest are banned out here by Peter Pan Dam. So saying, hey, you guys got first pick. We're not giving you up that Engineer. And then, of course, the junglers. Everyone knows those junglers are just so dang powerful. Keeper of the Force still on the board, but he has really dropped off quite a bit. Teams not having nearly the amount of success with him, but he is going to be our 6th overall pick right here. Let's take a look at the first 5. Overall, number 1 pick is going to be Scout. Teams very much so valuing the high suicide potential of that hero, especially when dealing with junglers. But no junglers like a Tempest that really are affected by a Scout in this game, so most likely just going to be in that suicide role, but does have the potential to do well in most roles, whether that's going to be a short lane carry potential or even against something like 1v3. Pebbles and Glacier is going to be coming out here for the Hellborn team. So it looks like one of B-Kid's favorites. And speaking of B-Kid, I want to point this out real quick. B-Kid is not here. Unfortunately, he had some scheduling conflicts today, had something to attend to. And Pablo McDad actually filling in for B-Kid. So going to be really fun to see Pablo. We don't see him too often. And when we did actually see him, previously playing for Team Pencils, and believe that he was part of Team USA, EUSA, the short-lived team there. Well, he was playing a suicide role, so we'll see if Sai maybe steps up to play the Pebbles, or if Pablo McDad's going to be taking care of that initiator type role. So, taking a look on the other side again one more time, we got Rally and Pyromancer, 2 very strong stuns, and of course great heroes to run in that middle lane since you've already got that Scout taken care of, so expect to see that as a possibility. Could also be looking at an aggressive tri-lane, especially with that Torturer pickup right there. Could actually make a lot of sense to go with an aggressive tri-lane now. Rally, Pyromancer, Torturer could work perfectly, or you could even get this final pick to be put into that tri-lane, and then allow either the Rally or Torturer to solo. On the other side of things, though, we did have that 6th overall pick with Keeper of the Forest, probably going to be in a suicide capacity. Teams just don't like to run him as a jungler that much these days. The passiveness of the hero just really does make it kind of hard for the lane that he's in to actually get anything done. Not really generating too much of a threat, and until that level 6, really not generating any threat. The band's going out. We did see Wild Soul, Master of Arms, Pharaoh, Wretched Hag, CD, and Aluna all being banned out. Bassett's with the targeted ban there on the CD. Knowing that Team USA has had a lot of success running that hero recently, makes a lot of sense to get rid of it. Wretched Hag being played by Bassett's or Nox, getting rid of that one as well. Lots of pretty standard bans in there as well. Andromeda was the 4th pick here for the Hellborn team, so now looking like they're going to be running an aggressive tri-lane as well, so maybe something like a Bubbles to flush this team out. With the Pebbles, Glacius, Andromeda, you've already got your makings for your tri-lane. Now just going to need a solo that's probably going to be going up against a tri-lane on the Legion side, and at least for me, that definitely could be a Bubbles. Could be looking at maybe something a little bit more unconventional as well. You've got things like the Valkyrie that are available. You've got Revenant Blitz still on the board, or Soul Stealer. So going to be running defensive dual lanes now. Instead of running the tri-lane, they will be falling back, running a Suicide Keeper of the Forest most likely, and then allowing Soul Stealer to most likely farm the short lane with Andromeda, while Glacius and Pebbles do run down the middle lane. So that's going to be your breakdown on the lanes for the Hellborn side. On the Legion, a little bit harder to guess here. Bassett's is going to take the Scout most likely into the Suicide lane, and then it looks like it will most likely be a Dampier in the short lane, possibly going to be babysat here. But there's a lot of different potential. Scout could be put into the short lane with a rally in mid, and then allowing Dampier to go top with the double range stuns, or there's really too many options here. Sorry about that. I always forget that for some reason my R button changes the scene on OBS. Gotta look into that as to why that is, because I certainly never set it up to do that. But taking a look at the items that were actually purchased here from Team Excellent, both these players going to be going for the hatchet. So it is kind of looking like it might be defensive dual lanes here on Team Excellent as well, which could make sense. You run the Pyromancer and Rally in the middle lane, and then Torture plus Dampier in the bottom lane, Scout and Long. And a 2-2-1 strategy for both these teams is going to ensure that both Dampier and Soul Stealer get off to a fantastic start. The crux of the action would then be in the middle lane, where Pebbles Glacius would be taking on Pyromancer Rally. And at least right there, you've got to be a little bit worried about Pebbles and Glacius, with Glacius not really having the full stun like Pyromancer, and rather relying on the immobilization as well as the movement speed slow. Could be a little bit vulnerable if trying to help out Pebbles, who can be very, very squishy himself, with the low armor already, allowing Rally to skill points into the demoralizing roar. Gonna have some extra damage and slowing mechanics there. So personally, I think that Rally and Pyromancer might have a slightly better time, at least for the first probably 3 levels in that middle lane. After that, it'll probably start to even out, as Pebbles does get a little bit stronger with those spells, and of course does get the additional mana once he gets that bottle. With both Scout and Keeper of the Forest having their suicide mechanisms through invisibility, it's also going to be up to players like Andromeda and Torture to try to get some Ward of Revelations or Dust early on if they hope to get kills. Dampier might have a little bit easier of a time getting a kill than Soul Stealer would with Andromeda, but we'll have to see. Keeper of the Forest already being stacked a considerable amount of regen, not going to be going with a shield. Rather, he's going to be taking 200 regen himself, and then grabbing another additional 100 regen here from Peter Pan Dam on the Andromeda. And no shield, instead going for the Guardian Ring, hoping to get the Ring of the Teacher very, very quick. Peter Pan Dam echoing my sentiments here right now. Let's get this game on. Yeah? Let's get going. Team Excellent. You got 30 minutes to wait, and then an 8-minute draft. Why are we paused? And looks like we will get started here. I don't know. This is me getting up on a soapbox a little bit here, but come on, guys. Like, the match was supposed to start half an hour ago. I understand Team USA was late. They used 15 minutes of the reserve time there, but Team Excellent, you should have no reason to be pausing right now. You waited an extra 15 minutes for that, and then you had your drafting for 10 minutes. Like, there's no reason to be pausing for 4 minutes right now. Use the restroom, get your food, get your drinks, go walk your dog, do whatever you need to do during the break, during the draft if you're not involved with the draft. Like, don't make both teams sit here and wait. Don't make me sit here and wait. Don't make the viewers sit here and wait. Just maybe a little bit better time management. I know it's very commonplace for everybody to pause for 5 minutes at the beginning of a game, but I don't know. That's just me ranting a bit. Defensive dual lane showing up top is going to be Andromeda and Soul Stealer. So it's really going to be on the Legion team about how they want to run this. And I really do just think it's going to be the 1-2-2 strategy here for Team Excellent. And in fact, Pew already dropping a lane ward. So is going to be looking to zone out Keeper of the Forest. And since Keeper does already have points into the Tree Dogs now, it could be pretty easy. It's going to be up to this Pyromancer and the Torture to try to kill off the first set of Tree Dogs here. Make sure that the lane does not get pulled back into Keeper of the Forest's favor. And if they are able to deny the trees, nice scout right here from Nox immediately. And it's perfectly acceptable to use mana right now. They're all going to use stuns. There's the impalement going off, and this tree is done. So, great job here. That was really, really well done by Team xCet, killing those Tree Dogs off. And now, as a result, this Ward of Sight, combined with the fact that Keeper of the Forest does not have point invis, Keeper is going to take a lot of harassment, and he should get no experience. This should be now very easy for Pew to actually zone this out. Keeper of the Forest is going to have to wait for some additional mana, and then try to pull the trees back again. So, if he can pull the lane back with the second wave of creeps, he might be able to stabilize from here. But either way, already in a pretty sour position in this bottom lane. And we'll see how he tries to go about this one. We'll keep an eye on that. Middle lane is going to be Pyro and Rally versus Glacius and Pebbles as expected. So it will be defensive duel lanes for both teams. No aggro tri-lanes going to be coming out. Trying to keep an eye down here because this is going to be very important. Pablo will get 0 experience if he is not able to properly pull this creep wave. And going to be going in once again. Remember, Torture does have Impalement. Not going to choose to use it, at least just yet. And immediately going to be pulling the creeps here. Torture taking a lot of damage. Nice job from Pablo. He's actually going to work these creeps over here. And Torture, not exactly sure. He needs to actually get the rest of the Fire Ogres here in just a second. And, well, not going to try to do that. So instead, Keeper of the Forest going to be coming on over, and he will try to last hit maybe one of these creeps, or at least get the experience from the Minotaur, which he does. And now this lane is going to push out. So I'm not entirely sure how that one went for Pew. This lane is going to intersect right now, but actually, because of the 2 creeps that Keeper of the Forest did just drag around, this lane will now be kind of awkward once again. Unfortunately, the Warlocks are going to be killed by those creeps in the backfield, and so this is going to push in favor of Keeper of the Forest. So Pablo finally able to get some experience there in the bottom lane as a result of that pull. Don't know if it was perfectly handled there by Pew, but in either event, it looks like Pablo will get that experience. Although Dampier is doing a very good job of denying it back and keeping it down here. Pew is trying to get some stacking going, which is allowing Keeper of the Forest at least some experience here. And that needs to not happen, because if Keeper hits 2, that's when it gets a little bit more rough. As long as you can keep it level 1, it's very, very nice. Up in the top lane, Scout, actually middle lane, Rally did go in, gets freezed out by Glacius. Glacius going to activate that health potion and is able to walk away. So going for the deep compel onto Glacius. It's certainly going to force out a lot of regen, but between the 2 of them, they still have 4 Blightstones left. Going to be a bottle coming out here relatively soon as well, I would expect. And Keeper of the Forest finally hitting level 2. Torture doing a lot of damage here, but unfortunately doesn't have a second spell to his name. It was dragging the creep wave around just a little bit as well. And these 2 creep waves will meet up. But now that Keeper of the Forest is level 2 and gets the Ring of the Teacher, Pablo will be able to get at least some experience down here. Still not exactly what he wants, and Pew already with the Ward of Revelation down is starting to counter that. So nice job by Pew, doing a really, really good job down here in the bottom lane. Andromeda being played by Peter Pan Dam up in the top is being annoyed a little bit by Scout, who's invising around, but oh, Andromeda could be in some trouble. Scout maybe going to open. Yes, will open. Trying for the body blocks, but already Pyromancer rotating back. There's the bottle on Glacius. As the regen, whereas Pyro was able to only get that refreshment. So both these teams really settling in for the long haul. Lots of regen, mana batteries, and power supplies here in the middle lane. Well, mostly just 1 power supply and 1 mana battery, but in either case, nice job from Pablo. Once more, going to be messing around with the creep wave, trying to get it to push out, and this is finally a really good pull. Stops it right there, but this is going to push the lane. Not that much, actually, because he did not control it for that long. And nice job from Dampier, going to be tanking the creep wave. Dampier will take a relatively considerable amount of damage here. Even dragging him back out. Player's getting quite good at being able to counter the creep wave push. Learning what to do. Top lane though, Andromeda and Soul Stealer finally starting to apply some pressure here with the Ring of the Teacher on Soul Stealer, doing a considerable amount of damage to this tower as that one is activated. But Scout getting close to hitting level 6 himself, so doing a great job actually getting that experience as compared to Keeper of the Forest, who's level 2 and trying to clear out some Ancients. It's not exactly easy for Keeper of the Forest. Not like a Wild Soul. Not quite that simple. And up top, Scout in some trouble. The dust in the team in hand. Oh, that's exactly what you're looking for from Soul Stealer. Being able to put out that damage in one stun, couple hands, and that's all that it's needed. Soul Stealer up at 402 gold per minute. A couple days ago, or was that yesterday, I believe, we actually saw Soul Stealer being played by Nox, I want to say, here from Team Excellent. Was able to get a Portal Key and Shrunken Head by 17.5 minutes with Steam Boots. We'll see if Troff's going to be going that similar route, or if he's going to be going something different, and just how his farm does compare to the man himself down here on the Dampier. Currently at 380 gold per minute, both of them relatively even, 46 and 16 as opposed to the 40 and 4 in terms of CS, but Scout definitely getting a lot more levels. Pebble's in trouble in the middle lane. That's going to be Andromeda coming in for the assistance. And the double tap here for the Hellborn team. 3 ahead now for Team USA. Oh, man. Oh, man. Pebble's having a good time. There's the tower going down in the top lane as well. And Team USA already taking a pretty considerable gold lead in this game. Troff even hitting level 7 with those level 4 demon hands doing a lot of damage. What is it, 225 per hand now? 300 damage per hand. Pretty absurd. You hit all 3 of those onto a Scout and he is dead. Oh, you hit 2 of those plus an auto attack or 2 on the Scout and he still might be dead. Keeper still trying to find that experience down here, but really big credit to Pew and Nox for making sure that this lane has been under control. They're finally going to lose control of this lane intentionally as they start to put a lot of pressure onto the towers. There's level 2 impalement going off. Andromeda showing herself by letting loose an Aurora, but she's just going to be doing a little bit of stacking as well. And this tower is deny range now. The Hellborn team going to start to chip away on that one. And what's the Legion going to do? Pew's going to just throw out a chain, and they're going in right here. Nox throwing in a combo. Vampiric Flight and a Terrorize. Pebble's in some trouble. There's the stun coming in. Dragonfire is there as well, and the marksman shot to finish him off. Nice job by Bassett to get that electric eye down, make sure that Pebbles was going to be revealed, and then it helps to clean up that kill. So Pebbles takes his first death of the game. Zai is in fact playing that Pebbles as Peter drops a word of revelation. Oh, Peter. And there we go. Last hit goes to Mr. Pyromancer. The Ward of Sight already down here should actually spot out the Ward of Sight that was placed by Peter Pan Dam, so they might be able to get a counter ward on that relatively soon. And there's that electric eye going to be cleaned up. No detonation on it. But Zai sitting at 275 gold per minute. Actually a little bit lower than I would have expected after the tower kill and the double tap that they helped get as a swap comes in. But a nice rally stun out of there. Andromeda is going to be the one that goes down. That was just a little bit too slow on the stalagmites coming in from Zai. The communication and timing needed to be a bit better. Instead, Brownlee was able to get out of there. Alba McDad finally heading into the jungle saying, alright, I am not getting anything done down there. Gonna go ahead heading into the jungle. Tralfamador on the Singularity account doing much the same, but holy crap, Tralf already at 500 gold per minute. This is the power of a Soul Stealer with nobody in the jungle. Yesterday on Nox's SS we saw, a Tempest that was in the jungle. This time Tralf has free reign to himself, and look at this build up. This is 10 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen. Mystic Vestments has the Mighty Blade. Strength Steam Boots, Power Supply, and an Energizer. Already sitting on 1,400 health. Middle lane, Glacial Downpour is going off, but Zion's in trouble. Hits the Power Supply, trying to get away right here, and will not get away. Scout paid for it with his life, though. There's the swap into the chain reaction back here. Vertex Level 5 taking a lot of damage, but he compels back in. Helps to get the kill onto Singularity. Tralfamador goes down. And now it could be Peter Pan Dam in some trouble. The Terrorize and the Flight are available. There's going to be the Blood Chalice, but a nice Comet Stun, extremely well timed by Peter Pan Dam, not only saving his life, but making sure that Dampier was not going to be able to chase anywhere else. But a nice couple of kills onto two very important heroes, the Soul Stealer and the Pebbles, both dropping in the middle lane, and perhaps most importantly, Zai's farm has been stunted immensely. He's still sitting at about 275 gold per minute, but it's 11 minutes in right now. And he's got 300 gold saved up to his portal key. Not anywhere near where he'd like to be. Even missing a last hit right there. Not ideal. And Tralfamador, despite all of the items that he just picked up, that's a lot of time wasted. About a minute and a half wasted going into that middle lane. Helped to set up one kill, but then actually went down himself. Scout is actually going to sit here and maybe try to get a kill on the Soul Stealer. SS will just be walking back and forth. There's the Auroras going off one more time. Not waiting the whole time for the Demon Hand reset. But Scout at least going to absorb some of the experience here. Rally is going to come in. There's the Energizer going off. Marksman shot into the nice push. And Soul Stealer in some serious trouble. Chain Reaction connects as well. A beautiful kill onto Soul Stealer. They will steal over half of these Ancients. And I guarantee you Tralfamador is not happy with what just went down here. Very, very well done. And I've got to say, this Water Sight from Peter Pan Dam, they should have been able to spot out Rally actually getting in there and been able to energize away a little bit faster, in my opinion. But a lot of that came down to Scout, who got the Marksman shot off onto Soul Stealer. And then a beautiful play from Brodex, knowing that he wouldn't be able to compel himself onto the stun for Soul Stealer. Instead, compelling Scout. Great job. And they were able to bring that kill home. So, Team Excellent, evening up the resource advantage considerably. And this is a really good place for them to be. Tralf back down to 400 gold per minute from the 500 that he was at just about 2 to 3 minutes ago. And of course, you've got Dampier farming incredibly well, up at 450 gold per minute nearline. And, well, has that light brand already. He'll probably have the Grimoire power by about 18 minutes. And there's not a lot of players that are going to be able to stand up to the might of a full level 11 Grimoire combo from Dampier. He'll probably be level 12 or 13 by that point as well. And it's going to be pretty dang nasty, the amount of damage that he will be able to do. Especially if this Pebbles does not have a portal key by that point. The Hellborn team is going to be in a lot of trouble. Pablo McDad just kind of doing his own thing now on Keeper of the Forest. Finally able to get a Ring of Sorcery up in addition to the Ring of the Teacher. So, one for each finger. And those boots. But really, what else is he contributing? 0 kill involvement. He's simply dodging at this point. Trying not to involve himself in team fights. Does have the level 1 root for 2 seconds available. But what is he going to do with it? Not a whole lot right now. Will be able to set up possible big kills for Soul Stealer later on in the game, but Soul Stealer right now is just trying to stay alive. Doing some jungling, but does not feel comfortable. Pebbles with a haste and Andromeda with Striders, though this could be a pretty big setup, but Scout just going to be able to walk away, activates the Invis, and he's out of there no problem. Has the Energizer delivered to him by the bird, so Scout doing actually a really good job. 312 gold per minute for being manhandled in this top lane. Has recovered phenomenally well. Bassett sitting at 3-2-1 and has really impressed me quite a bit over the past weeks. I have to say Bassett's maybe one of the standout players here on Team Excellent in terms of his consistent performance in that suicide lane. Tower trading going on. Tier 1 bottom traded for Tier 1 mid. And both these teams should be relatively okay with that. Excellent maybe getting a slight advantage there just because of the power of the middle lane Tier 1 tower. It does open up a ton of map control. And holy crap, okay. That's a Grimoire at 15 minutes. So Nox looking to go full ham right now. Level 12, 15 minutes in. Oh, man. Hold on 1 second here, guys. Alrighty, I'm back. Sorry about that. My cat locked herself in the bathroom. I could hear her pounding on the door. And, well, stupid cat. She goes in the bathroom and then closes the door on herself. Like, she does this, like, at least once a day. I don't understand this cat. But, apologies, you guys don't care about that. You care about the game at hand. 16 minutes in, we are evened up at 5-5 hero kills, but that might not be for too long. Scout taking a lot of damage, but with the electric guy, was able to save himself at least for now. Pebbles with that haste rune wasn't quite able to get a kill, and does have a portal key now, so look for Zyda maybe doing some big initiations. But where's the follow-up? You got Soul Stealer, who I don't... Okay, so 7 minutes ago he had this Mighty Blade. He's got to have a Shrunken Head. Like, I think he's going to vendor his TP here and get a Shrunken Head. Because, yeah, he must have purchased a Warhammer. We'll see here in just a second what Tralfmador's plan is. Well, what's the plan on Nox? His normal build is to go into a portal key from here. Get that mobility and the initiation presence. We'll see if he's going to be going for that one more time, or if he wants to go for an earlier Mighty Blade. Really, the build that Nox likes to go is Grimoire, standard. Into a portal key, pretty standard. Into a Ice Brand and a Frostwolf Skull. Not so standard. That's what he's been going with a lot recently. And then from there, into something like either a Conjuro, or Behemoth's Heart, or a Shrunken Head. So if he does go for that Frostwolf Skull again, it does make him extremely tanky. And when you do have that movement speed and attack speed slowed through a Shrunken Head, you can go head-to-head with the Soul Stealer a lot more effectively, something that Dampier is somewhat able to do anyways. If he's able to get off a couple of his spells before the Shrunken Head goes up from Soul Stealer, he is by all means able to one-on-one with that SS if they're at somewhat reasonable amount of farms. But at least right now, okay, there's a portal key. I was like, Helm of the Victim, is he going like Dominator or something? Like, what is he doing? Whispering Helm or an Insanitarius? Like, I didn't know, but no, it will just be that portal key getting ready for the initiation potential. And Soul Stealer just picked up a Warhammer, so it will be a Shrunken Head here for Singularity. How about that? Portal key just picked up on Rally as well, so going to be a lot of initiation coming in, and this could be a timing maybe to try to force down this top tower, maybe to take over the enemy jungle, or maybe just try to force a team fight. But with the double portal keys here on the Legion side, they are certainly in possession of some pretty impressive initiation potential. As, oh, that was a kill in the jungle. Peter Pan Dam going down as Nox gets one in the bottom lane. That was a kill on the Keeper of the Forest. Soul Stealer coming in, but isn't going to be able to follow up with too much. So nice job from Team Excellent, getting kills in two very disparate portions of the map. Scout killing off Andromeda. 910 life. I mean, it's not bad. I wonder if he had a double damage or a haste. I wouldn't think that Scout would be able to just kill their heads up like that without Andromeda being able to stun and run. But then again, with Striders, not necessarily the tankiest by any means. Ian not quite able to speed on out of there. Pebbles has been farming himself. Not too much money. I wonder if he's possibly got something in the bank. Has recovered pretty decently though, up to 325 gold per minute, roughly even with that of Bassett's and Rally. Or Bassett's on Scout and Rally being played here by Brodex. And there's the Mighty Blade, so could be a Shrunken Head, could be that Ice Brand. Personally, I would like to see the Shrunken Head. You're up against so many heroes that you need a Shrunken Head for. You need to have something that's going to be able to break that root. You need to be able to get some kind of magic immunity here for dealing with Andromeda, Soulstealer, Pebbles, and Glacius. Yeah, you need that Shrunken Head, in my opinion, Nox. If you go for the Ice Brand first and then do Shrunken Head, maybe that's okay. But you need the Shrunken Head. Do not go for a full Frostwolf Skull right now, please. Please, please, please. You will be locked down forever. And nice deny. Pew is all over these denies right now. Got the kill on the tower in the bottom lane and a deny right here. He got a deny yesterday that was pretty crazy. Pew stepping his game up on the hard support. So right now, Team USA just trying to make sure this resource lead does not get out of control, but until they're able to get some more items up on the Soulstealer and possibly on Keeper of the Forest, they're not really able to take team fights. And Astrolabe just finished up on Keeper of the Forest, so this might be a timing to try to actually get... Okay. That's actually a huge kill. I'm sorry that I missed that one on camera. I was talking about something else, but a gigantic kill onto Soulstealer. This will probably be 2 towers right now, and a death on Singularity. I mean, he was very, very close to his portal key, if that's the route that he was going to go. And it looks like the Legion team is still going to be grouping up here, wanting to get this secondary tower kill. They've got 30 seconds with which to do so. But maybe just going to be taking the enemy team's jungle instead. All right. Anyway, what I was talking about with Keeper of the Forest once more. These are team fight and pushing items between Ring of the Teacher, Astrolabe, and Ring of Sorcery. This is something that makes Keeper of the Forest into a weaker threat on his own and a stronger threat when he is with his team. Team USA has not grouped up really at all. They grouped up to try to take a mid-tier 1 tower and then fell back immediately. Up top, Soulstealer could be in some trouble once more. Rally and Scout could be coming in right here. And Marksman shot misses the compel. Shrunken Head going to be going off. And Soulstealer will be able to get out of there, no problem. A big mistake there from Brodex 5 level. That should have probably been a kill. But misses the compel. Pew drops in the middle lane to Zai. And, well, this is going to be the opportunity now for the Hellborn team to try to take some kind of an advantage, move across the river for once. They are grouped up as 5. And an interesting item finished up here. Whispering Helm going to be coming out for Soulstealer. So looking for not only damage, but also armor and lifesteal. And instead, not going to be worrying about the mobility, not going to be worrying about raw damage, not going to be necessarily worrying about survivability, but another farming mechanism. And then something that's going to allow him to maybe stay a little bit stronger, as Nox is going to go in right there, swap backward, and here comes Rally, misses the stun once again. There's the Shrunken Head from Dampier being activated. Keeper of the Forest getting his ultimate off, not going to go down. There's the truck backward onto Andromeda. A lot of damage going to be going off. Keeper of the Forest is the only one dead so far. There goes Andromeda. The stun going to be going off here as Soulstealer's taking a lot of damage, and SS is going to go down. Pebbles going back in, but Pebbles is only able to finish off Dampier before he drops a hat trick coming out for Bassett on Scout at a genocide in favor of the Legion team. I've got to say, I mean, that kind of shows you the power of this Legion team in comparison to the Hellborn. There's no portal key route. There's no portal key ultimate follow-up from Soulstealer. You get the Shrunken Head, and then you're not able to get off a well-positioned ultimate. What's the point right there? And we saw The ultimate goes off when Trouf is right here. The majority of the team was right here and up here. Like, it's just not doing a whole lot. You got the Shrunken Head so that you're not taking a ton of magic damage from Nox, but Nox is just sitting there right-clicking you. Nox eventually going down, but the rest of his team able to clean everything up. And I've got to say, a lot of that, I think, kind of came down to the Shrunken Head, which I believe was still on cooldown from when Soulstealer had to use it up here. So, yeah, I want to say that was only about 45 seconds beforehand, and it's like a 70-second cooldown or more at that point, as Scout using the Nullfire Blade, trying to get a kill on Andromeda. Scout is running away. There's the dust going out, and Bassett is going to drop right here. Legendary streak going to Riser on Glacius, and nice jump there. That was a necessary kill on the Scout. He was getting pretty out of control, up at above 400 gold per minute. But we saw the Shrunken Head on Nox there, probably keeping him alive. I'm really glad that he did, in fact, go for the Shrunken Head rather than the Ice Brand into a Frostwolf Skull. But Team Excellent, once again, with a massive advantage here. These guys are looking very, very strong. I can't say this enough, but they are just looking good. Over the past 3-4 weeks, they have been looking stronger and stronger. And Team USA failing to meet the challenge right now. They had a game plan that was kind of mid-game oriented, and so far they've failed to execute that game plan. Not being able to pick up the kills, not being able to pick up the towers, generate pressure on the opponent's side of the map, and it's not giving enough space for Soulstealer to get up into that massive farm territory. A Soulstealer with 500 gold per minute versus maybe another hard carry with 500 gold per minute. SS going into the 30-minute plus mark is simply not able to do as much. And here comes Nox going in one more time, getting Pebbles right here. Sun gonna connect, and he does go down. Keep the Forest gets the ultimate off as Soulstealer is trying to run away. Nice glacial downpour from Glacius, but is it going to be enough? Nox going in once more, is able to take down Zai. Pebbles did buy back, and it looks like this is going to do it for the Legion team. They are comfortable to sit back. They're gonna go in and take the triple stacked Ancients. Alborn team coming in one more time, though. No Shrunken Head available as Pebbles is going to get the stun. No Chuck going to be used right here. Zai in some trouble as he gets turned around on. There's the Chuck button. Andromeda in some trouble. Soulstealer gets the ultimate off, and they're able to finish off Scout. But is that going to be enough? Yes, it will be. Both teams going to choose to retreat. Well, more accurately, the Legion team going to choose to retreat. Pebbles has the portal key up right now. There's the Slagmites. Chuck backward, and down goes Pew. So it ends up being a 2-for-1 exchange. There, of course, was a dead Pebbles with a buyback, so make that a 2-for-2. Legion team does take a larger resource advantage as a result of getting the Ancients in there as well. And forcing a buyback out of Pebbles gives them a pretty substantial victory in this case. Scout is perfectly fine sacrificing his life so that his team is able to take further and further advantages in this game. And speaking of those advantages, Nox, I don't know what he's going to be working on next. He's got to have more money than he does currently. Something in the bank. Probably going to go for that Frostwolf Skull if my previous... Okay, there's the Ice Brand coming out. So yes, it will be the Frostwolf Skull next. Nox loves getting this item. With the build that he's gone for right here, he will end up with about 3,200 life, 3,100 life at level 25 with the Frostwolf Skull. And that's going to be a pretty massive amount. With the Magic Community on the Shrunken Head as well, then can finish up into something like a... Genjuro, if that's the route that he wants to go. We'll have to see. What I'm really interested on is what Soulstealer is going to go for. At this point, with no portal key, there's not much of a point to Pablo McDad getting a portal key either. They're not going to go in for the 3-man portal key combo on somebody. It's simply a little bit too late, in my opinion, for Soulstealer to be going that route. From here, what do you go as SS? Could go for something like a Geometer's Bane himself, but there's a lot of AoE damage, not necessarily going to be the perfect thing. And I kind of think that it's going to be a Symbol of Rage coming out. Something that's going to give a little bit more presence to Soulstealer and a little bit more in terms of... Okay, I could be wrong here. I was going to say a little bit more in terms of being able to just stand tall in the middle of those fights after that Shrunken Head is activated. Holy crap, did Nox actually just finish up a Frostwolf? I'm pretty sure that he still needs the glowstone, so it's going to be about another 800 gold, but it's going to be Frostwolf Skull. It's going to be Grimoire, Frostwolf Skull, Portal Key, Shrunken Head at 30 minutes. Like, Nox is just... He's a beast on this hero. This is a hero that, in my opinion, you have to ban against Nox. He does too well on it. As uh-oh, Keeper of the Forest in trouble. And Keeper's just going to get comboed 100-0. Was not able to get the Astrolabe off. The Root, not able to get the Invis, nothing. Now, the one consolation here is that they did see that the Shrunken Head was activated. That was the 8-second Shrunken Head here. As, uh-oh, Scout's going to go in for a kill onto Andromeda momentarily. That's going to be the Silence. And the Purge coming in. And looks like the Marksman shot going off, but not nearly enough damage. Surprised they didn't go for the kill there. We saw earlier Firebrand was the weapon of choice here for Soul Stealer. So most likely going for that Geometer's Bane will of course give considerable amount of damage, as well as some tower push potential, able to break out of not really much. Able to clear the Silence, which I guess is one of the biggest things. Double damage Pebbles hitting for 500. Not going to go in right here as Conqueror is already down. Just a little bit too late. It actually will go for Torture, but no, not going to use the Chuck, and as a result, he will get comboed and killed. Oh, Zai, that was not ideal by any means. Now recall that Soul Stealer did cancel his TP in this bottom lane. Scout maybe going to be looking for something, trying to figure out where Soul Stealer is going to be, and if Scout actually walks into Soul Stealer right here, this will be a dead SS. Oh, Scout, come back over. Don't open on Andromeda. Don't open on Andromeda. Open on Soul Stealer. Oh, if he opens on SS when he tries to go for these Ancients. Oh, here it is. And, oh, right after... Oh, Scout's going to get turned around upon right now, maybe. No, just kidding, I lied. But that was the Aurora that connected with Scout that forced him to do so little damage. Scout will drop as a result of a Comet and a Glacial Downpour with that Bound Eye. But more deaths on Singularity is not what you want to see. Trumpeter just dropping left, right, and center. Pyromancer being played here by Fine is doing some serious work. 4-1 and 8. I mean, he's kind of an unsung hero in this game. Holy crap, my FPS just dropped to like nothing. That was really odd. Okay, I'm sure you guys were able to see that, but maybe some kind of an FPS bug with the fountain right there. In either case, we're back to normal. Now Nox is able to get a kill on the tower in the middle lane. Bumping his gold per minute up to 677. Frostwolf Skull and 2,100 gold saved up. Expect him to wait out this Token of Life and then replace that with maybe something like that Genjuro. Keeper of the Forest still just sitting on those teamfight items. I wonder if he's going to be looking for a portal key. Personally, I don't really want to see a portal key on him. I would rather see maybe a... I don't know what I would rather see. I was going to say Souls will work, but Pebbles needs to be picking that up. But he's working on his Shrunken Head. Right now, they need something now. Honestly, an Abyssal Skull might be the best bet here for Keeper of the Forest. Make something of that Ring of the Teacher, but right now they need to worry about this tower that's taking a massive amount of damage, and Pyromancer is able to finish that off with those stacks of Fervor. Nox just going in hard, says, I got a Token of Life. I just really do not care. Soul Stealer saving up money for buyback, does have the money to complete a Geometer's Bane if that's what he wants to go for. And Shrunken Head, of course, completed on Scout as well. Barrier Idol on Rally. These are the big teamfight items that you're looking for. In addition, of course, your backline Pyromancer. Marksman shot going in. Doing a lot of damage to Tralfamador. And Nox just going to start to wail on the racks, knowing that there's really nothing the Hellborn can do to him if they do not want to go. And there's the Blink and Terrorize. Tralfamador going to go down. Will buy back immediately. Root has been used, though. There's the Shrunken Head down on Dampier as well. Combo onto Scout. Shrunken Head activated on Pebbles, trying to bring down Rally, perhaps. Will they be able to get him? Yes, Rally will drop. Keeper of the Forest dropping really low himself, but that does not matter. He's gotten his spells off already. Scout as well as Dampier are still trying to go hard. They will be trying to pick up Pebbles, but Pebbles gets the chuck off, kills Dampier here. He's going to come back up with the token of life. There's a buyback on Keeper of the Forest, but really why, I'm not quite sure. Chain reactions on and a turnaround. Down goes Keeper. Dampier going hard down to Andromeda. One more auto attack will be enough to finish her off. Pew gets credit for that one. And down goes Glacius as well. Soul Stealer getting slowed considerably, but they fall back. The Legion team still has 3 up, and they're trying to bring down the melee racks. Oh, Tralfador in some trouble. One more auto is going to be enough. Dampier can actually man up right now. There's a buyback. Second buyback out of Tralfador on this singular fight. GG's being called here by Peter Pan Dam. And that might do it. Fine, blinking away, trying to get away from Zai. The melee racks are down, and Dampier able to man up and get the kill. Quad kill. Will we see an Annihilation right now? I think we will. Yes, we are. Annihilation in favor of Dampier as Team xCet takes home game number 1 in this series, making Team USA look like they just did not have any kind of response. But wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about that. Like, that was insane. Team xCet played that game so very well, and I don't know if Team USA is going to be able to bring this one back, guys. Like, I just don't know. Team USA is just, they're a very good team, but at least with that kind of strategy right there, Tralfador got very strong early farm. But from there, what was he able to do? Not a whole lot. There just wasn't much of a response. Pablo McNabb on Keeper of the Forest was not able to get off pretty much anything that game. Was never able to push. Never got above 200 gold per minute. Nothing like that. And as a result, I mean, Team USA just, they looked helpless. We'll see if B-Kid's going to be back for this next game. And they may be able to get back into a little bit higher tier form. But guys, we do have that next game coming up here in just a minute. Team xCet up 1-0 over Team USA in the HoN Tour Cycle number 2 Diamond Winners Bracket Semi-Finals. Winner of this going to be taking on either TMSR or Stay Green in the Winners Bracket Finals and secures themselves at least, I believe, $1,000 as well as top 3 here in cycle number 2. So, both these teams want to bring it home. Will USA be able to bring home game number 2 and force a third? Or will Team xCet take this one in 2 and continue to move on and really just show us why they're one of the top teams in the scene right now? Stick around and find out. Colecast with Beef and HoN Tour. We'll be